this one, which is playing their home games away from home.
Laura, the 49ers will be trying to make a December playoff push while being away from their homes and their families. Not ideal, but head coach Kyle Shanahan said, we'll be all right. It's not the end of the world. The organization decided to call Glendale, Arizona home for the next several weeks. And the Cardinals were able to accommodate without any conflicts with their own game schedule. So 49ers players and staffers are living at a nearby hotel in what Shanahan called a, quote, weird existence where they're all together but have to stay apart. It's a short golf cart ride to the Cardinals practice fields, the one place Shanahan says his players can connect face to face. Offensive tackle Trent Williams told me, if this wasn't 2020, we'd probably all be in an uproar about this, but we've been through so much adversity already, he said, not just as a team, but as a nation. I think we are all just conditioned to roll with the punches. Laura?
Yeah, that's very well said. We'll see you, Lisa, and the rest of the crew in about 3.5 hours on Monday Night Football. Amina, the Bills will be without wide receiver John Brown. How much does that impact Josh Allen's game?
It's huge. I am the longtime mayor of John Brown is underrated island, but it bears out statistically. Look at Josh Allen's splits with and without John Brown. I mean, they are really dramatic. About 20 points lower in QBR this season. You saw it when he went out. Defense is double Diggs. And I think, like, Diggs is clearly the number one. He is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. But John Brown stretches the field. He's a big part of why Josh Allen has improved on those deep routes this season. Now, they really like Gabe Davis, the young player, and he occupies sort of a similar space to Brown. But I'm very curious to see if Brian Dable switches it up tonight, because this Bills offense, we know what they like to do. A lot of play action, a lot of Dan's beloved motion, a lot of 10 and 11 personnel, so that's either, 4 or 3 wide receivers on the field. I want to see if they mix it up. This is a very good Niners defense. That's a very smart coordinator that's playing them, that is getting healthy at the right time. I mean, should they make adjustments? What do we think?
Well, there goes all my talking points.
Sorry, Dan.
No,
it's all right.
Listen, I'm really excited to watch kind of the coordinators tonight. I think it's primetime television, and you mentioned Brian Dable, right? Like, I think he's going to be on a head coaching list for a lot of teams next year. He's got a great feel for modern-day offensive football. You talked about all the different personnels. I love the fact that they're aggressive throwing the ball on first down. Why? It's the easiest down to throw the ball. He spreads the field, gets easy completions for his quarterback, a bunch of RPOs. And then you flip it onto the other side for the 49ers. Robert Saleh, again, going to be at the very top of head coaching candidate lists. And everyone's going to go like, oh, Robert Saleh, all he does is play cover 3. Wrong. Like, the adjustment that he has made this year of, I've lost some bodies. Now they're playing a lot more quarters coverage, match coverage. Right. They're pressuring a lot more. That, to me, goes, you've got a great feel for what your guys are good at and what your guys aren't good at. How do you need to change? And so I want to see how those two next-year head coaching candidates match up tonight really well.
Yeah, one of the things that Lisa mentioned was just how difficult this 49ers season has been for them and what Kyle Shanahan's had to deal with. What do you expect from the 49ers offense tonight?
Well, I'm so used to you talking about how good Kyle Shanahan is. But I'll talk about him since nobody talks about it. Yeah,
it's everybody here.
Like But listen, this is what Kyle Shanahan has kind of made his name on, right? This adversity that Trent Williams mentioned to Lisa. You think about what has transpired with this offense, losing Kittle and Garoppolo and all of these people.
Receivers.
And they find themselves in a position to fight for a playoff spot. Like, I don't know how many teams survived that. Bottom line is, Kyle Shanahan's going to dial up this run game. Anytime we've seen him in these primetime big games, he's wanted to force the issue on the ground and having Mostert back and being able to keep Mullins out of that area of turning the football over like he has in spurts and at times played well. He's going to try to ground out the Buffalo Bills. It does two things, right? It gets them into the wheelhouse of what they like to do offensively with how they use motion, jet sweep, and all of that stuff. But it also keeps Josh Allen off the field.
No, it's time of possession.
Exactly. And that's what he did to Aaron Rodgers last year in the playoffs. So I think that will have a big part of what this game looks like.
Yeah, what?
Why I have San Francisco.
Wait, your pick. Wait, one second.
My bad. I'm excited.
He's so excited. One of Mina's favorite players, Matt Milano, the linebacker for the Bills, is actually has been activated.
So set the edge.
So against that 49ers run game, if they end up running a lot, they'll have to go up against Milano. All right, let's get to the game picks.
My bad.
Listen, we're all on the Bills except Marcus Spears. And Marcus likes the 49ers tonight. Why are you picking the 49ers?
Because I just have a tremendous amount of respect for what this team has done. And it's a bit of an emotional pick. but it's not far-fetched, right? Like, we understand what the makeup of this team is. Dan just talked about Robert Saleh. I just talked about Shanahan. We talked about a team that's been moved, fought through all type of adversity, and have found ways to win. And not only ways to win, they beat some teams that we think are legit playoffs and could make a deep run in it. I'm taking San Fran tonight because every time we take the same damn team, they get blessed.
Well, thanks for
so I hope I'm right, and it's going to be the San Francisco 49ers for the Sweat Group.
Mafia.
I love it. All right, listen, we're getting closer and closer to kickoff of the first game on Monday Night Football. This one live, and Baker Mayfield showed the fighting spirit yesterday against the Titans. The Browns are 9-3, you guys, and Baker Mayfield also made a lot of us who like The Office happy. He channeled his inner Dwight Schrute.
Never seen an episode.
Come on.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, my God.
What have you seen? Sorry, I'll stop.
Whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, then I don't do that.
Yeah, we're all still shook over the fact that Dan has never seen an episode of The Office. We're going to work on that later, but we got to get through this show today. So, Marcus, you've been calling for Baker and the Browns to do it against a good opponent. What did you see yesterday?
I saw it. Baker Mayfield, I saw the light, right? And it went off, and it was huge. What he did in the first quarter, listen, y'all know me. I've been critical of Baker. Thought he was average to below average. That's what the tape said. But this type of performance, last week I said on NFL Live, Baker Mayfield, for me, will be judged by the teams that are good playoff contenders. This was one opportunity for him. Now you want to see the consistency going forward. But some of the things that he did in this game translates to anybody you play. Some throws he didn't make. Some things he didn't do mistake-wise was growth, right? The double pump to Peoples-Jones that Peoples-Jones dropped, he saw a safety breaking on his first read, pumped it, came off, and then should have been a touchdown. You look at the throw to Higgins, it looked poised, just comfortable, knew what he was doing with the football. A lot of things Stefanski did to make Baker Mayfield comfortable as well, giving him credit. But yesterday, that Baker Mayfield makes the Cleveland Browns as dangerous as any team in the league. Now here we go, all right? We got Pitt, we got Baltimore, but this was one of those litmus tests I wanted to see Baker Mayfield throw the Cleveland Browns to a win, and he absolutely did that yesterday.
Okay, but why? Okay, so right now Baker Mayfield playing confident and playing with clarity. So how does that happen? One, you got a really good scheme. Two, you got good players around you. And then three, that scheme is being called by a really good play caller. We talked about the play action pass, not just for the quarterback, receiver and tight end. How about you guys both be a part of our chip? So it's a 5-man protection. Play fake is 6. 2 guys keep those ends protected. Vision on the back. This is a chunk throw. That's easy money. That's how the play action affects your offense. Now, how about 13 personnel? We're in first down. We run the ball more than anybody in the NFL on first down. I'll break the tendency. I'll put 3 tight ends on the field. Now the defense is going, wait, first down, 3 bigs on the field, a little bit of shift and motion. Look at all the people near the line of scrimmage for the Tennessee Titans. You got 10 out of the 11 defenders, 6 yards from the line of scrimmage. Crosser by Njoku takes care of the safety. And how about this fake? How about this fake by Baker Mayfield? You talk about selling it. It's like a dealer at a blackjack table. No one has any idea where the ball is. DPJ, you got to go win on your route, okay? I dialed it up for you. You go win on your route. That's why there's confidence in the play call and the people around them. But there's also a great amount of clarity on what here's my play call. This is what the play call's needed for me to do to execute it, and that's why he's been playing well for about 5 or 6 weeks now.
And Mina, so this team is going to the playoffs. Will this Baker Mayfield show up in the playoffs?
Why I gotta be the Grinch? Because I want to praise the Browns because they were fantastic.
It's real.
You asked me a question, okay? Baker was excellent yesterday in the first half. Decisive, accurate, took care of the football. The play calling was wonderful.
Sure.
The offensive line, which is the best unit, I think, on this team, the best position group, phenomenal. But the Titans pass rush got about as close to Baker as I am to Laura.
We're very far apart.
Yeah, you can see us in studio.
70 feet apart.
We are extremely far apart. He was pressured once in the first half. Not sacked once. Not hit once, pressured once.
Sure.
And a lot of that has to do with things that are sustainable. Like I said, the Browns' offensive line is arguably the best in football. Some of it is schematic. You talked about all the play action. That helps as well. But they are in for much bigger tests. They're playing the Steelers and the Ravens.
Giants are coming up.
The Giants. So we're going to talk about my Seahawks getting embarrassed by them. So I love what I saw from Baker, but it's not going to be that easy going forward.
Yeah, let's see what he does against the Steelers and the Ravens. We got to move, Dan. I know you want to talk, but I'm also going to get a tape measure in the break, and we're going to see if we can measure. I can't even